乘客请往车厢后面走。下一站，武洛路布加坡。
小时候的民居楼，冒的那朵人，外地人为了看大桥，才来到汉阳门。汉阳门的人都可以坐船过汉口，汉阳门的花园属于我们这些居家的人。冬天腊梅花，夏天石榴花，晴天都是人，雨天都是那。
欢迎大家来到武汉。
Wuhan gave me a very direct welcome. My original plan was changed by the weather, so I spent a long time in the Hubei Provincial Museum. Because of that, I had a chance to step into the history of the Chu state. Wu Zixu helped the state of the Wu defeat Chu. Later, Wu fought against Yue. King He Lu of Wu was defeated and died. His son Fu Chai became king and defeated Gou Jian, but he did not kill him. Gou Jian waited for many years, rebuilt his strength, and finally attacked Wu. In the end, Fu Chai took his own life. We have heard these stories since we were young. But when you stand in front of the real objects, history is no longer just a few names and dates. Chu's lacquer often used black and white. It was painted with secret birds, dragons, snakes, and strange animals. The style was light, beautiful, mysterious, and romantic. These patterns show how people of Chu imagined long life, the heavens, and the world of the gods. At that time, people believed that ordinary people could not understand the will of heaven directly. A shaman had to enter the unseen world and bring the message of the gods back to the people. From this point of view, ancient magic and later religion were quite similar. Thousands of years ago, the people of Chu tried to enter an invisible world through magic. Today, thousands of years later, the Hubei Provincial Museum used another way to bring that lost world back in front of us. They created a VR experience called Travel Back to the Bronze Age. The moment I put on the headset, I felt as if I had gone straight into that time. Gou Jian was standing in front of me. Craftsmen were making swords. Bronze bells were sounding one after another inside the palace. Of course, I knew that everything in front of me was fake. But when a roof beam suddenly fell, I still moved away, bent down, and even jumped without any thinking. After the experience, I took off the headset. I saw many people wearing the same device. They were waving their hands, turning around, and moving away from the things that were not really there. For a moment, I felt a little lost. To people without a headset, they were only facing the empty space. But to the people inside the VR world, everything felt very real. Today's technology is still simple, so we can easily tell that world is virtual. But what if one day sight, sound, touch, thoughts, and feelings can all be copied perfectly? What if there is no clear difference between the virtual world and the real world? How could we know which world is real? It is like a fake Louis Vuitton bag. We usually look at the material, the stitching, and another details to decide if it is real or fake. Even a brand inspector is really just looking for the differences. But what if one day every details can be copied perfectly? If there is no difference left, how can we still tell what is the real and what is fake? We often believe that what we see is real. But the world we know is already created by the way our brain explains sight, sound, and touch. The ancient people of Chu used magic to reach beyond the real world and speak with another world. Today, we use technology to build another world with our own hands. Thousands of years have passed. The tools have changed, but the people are still asking the same question. Is the world in front of us really everything? After leaving the museum, I thought of a line from the Diamond Sutra. All forms are unreal. I used to think it was just an old idea, but after taking off the VR headset, I suddenly feel that this question was not far from the modern life at all. Technology will keep moving forward, and virtual world will only become more and more real. Maybe that is why something that cannot be easily copied starts to feel even more valuable. For example, the acrobatic show at Wuhan. Acrobatic is not a video that you can play again and again. It is a real skill of human body. The performers use their own bodies to face gravity, danger, and the chance of failure. It cannot be restarted. Even mistakes become part of the show. AI can create a performer who never makes mistakes. It can also design moves that look even more dangerous. But it cannot copy the real pressure of the live show. That tension and the feeling when performer finally succeed only belong to that moment. After the show, I was exhausted. On the way back, I walked into a random restaurant. The moment I took the first bite of the noodles, I was shocked by how good they taste.
吃的习惯吗？
好吃。好吃。
我怕你吃的习惯那种干拌的。
Maybe it was because the weather outside was cold and rainy. Maybe it was because I had been working all day. Maybe I was simply very hungry. Most of all, I had no expectation. That made the food taste even better. The next day, I visited the Yellow Crane Tower, a place that many locals in Wuhan may not visit very often.
天涯的尽头是风沙，红尘的故事叫牵挂，风刀隐没在寻常人家，东篱下，闲云野鹤孤茶。
快马在江湖里厮杀。
无非是名和利放不下。心中有江山的人，岂能快意潇洒？我只求与你共话。
金树桥，恩怨了谁晓？我只求今朝有你入怀抱。红尘客栈风似刀，骤雨落宿命潮。
人无恋水灵风骚，我却只为你这样。我荒村野桥，行世外古道。
From the top, I finally understood why this place has inspired so many poems about travel, distance, and saying goodbye. Below me was the Yangtze River. In the distance were Hanyang and Snake Hill. For centuries, people had passed through this city on their way somewhere else. Some arrived, some left, and many missed home. The river kept moving, and so did the people. After leaving the tower, I walked along the Snake Hill, past the Shouyi Park, and continued to the Longhua Temple. Wuhan feels relaxed. You don't have to look for the story here. They're already happening all around you.
不要假設我知道，一切也都是為我而做。為何這麼偉大，如此感覺不到？不說一句的愛有多好，只有一次記得實在接觸到，騎着單車的我倆。懷緊貼背的擁抱，難離難捨，想抱緊些。茫茫人生好像荒野，如孩兒能伏於爸爸的肩膊，誰要下車？難離難捨，總有一些常情如此不可推卸。讓世間再冷酷，想起這單車，還有幸福可借。
记不到末世后，挂到父子爬黄火楼，直到江水问家家，他往哪里走？爬上个汉字流，拉到家家往楼下走。下了楼买根冰棒，吹到江风靠到桥头。江水滔滔，大桥大桥，春天风筝飞，夏天走窗。
On my last day, I went to Wuhan University. Many students were taking graduation photos. Watching them made me think about how much people change over time. When I look back at my old videos, I sometimes feel that I was young and naive. But that was still part of my journey. No one becomes mature all at once. It reminded me of the heavy rain on my first day in Wuhan. It changed my plans, but it did not ruin the trip. Wuhan in the rain is still Wuhan. Life is often the same. Something may feel bad at first, but later it may lead us to a new place, a new person, or a new way of seeing things. When I left Wuhan that evening, I felt that I had not seen enough. In the past, I often thought Chinese cities were not very interesting. Now, I realize that the problems was not always the cities. Sometimes it was simply the way that I look at them. If we only focus on the problems of a place, we will slowly stop seeing everything else. Wuhan helped me notice ordinary life again. The river wind, the ferries, the noisy streets, a simple meal in a small restaurant. This small moment made the city feel alive. The same book, the same song, and the same place can feel completely different at the same age. When we are young, we often look far away. We think foreign places must be more exciting. But after traveling more, I began to understand that every city has its own history, people, and stories. Standing in Wuhan, I asked myself, have I ever truly looked at the land that I come from? Have I really tried to understand the people who live here and the stories that have happened here for thousands of years? Maybe the best part of the Wuhan is not only its famous sights. It is also in the sudden rain, a surprising bowl of noodles, the evening wind by the Yangtze River, and the feeling that I still wanted to stay a little bit longer. Maybe travel is not only about seeing new places. It helps us see familiar places and ourselves in a new way.